Hello, everyone. Welcome to Free Conversation Lovers, Episode 2. If you haven't listened to our introduction podcast, please go check it out.
We've gathered here today with Professor Mahdizadeh from Iran, who has PhD in Artificial Intelligence from Fundan University in Shanghai, China.
He has a lot of teaching experiences, he has incredible inventions, he's also written a lot of books and articles.
Hello, Professor. Welcome to Free Conversation Lovers. It's such a pleasure to be here with you today, and thank you for accepting our invitation. Would you tell us more about yourself to the listeners, please?
Hello, free conversation lovers. Thank you for inviting me for this uh, great conversation. I hope this will help your listeners to find out their ways. My name is Mr Mahdizadeh. I'm an author, inventor, ticket sorter. I'm currently editorial board of Cuban Academic Journal and doing my PhD in deep learning and image processing at Fudan University, Shanghai, China.
Yes, that's great. We're so happy that you joined us today. Tell us more about your education, like how you started.
My education. Please let me start with a little uh, previous than my education. Ever since I started to meaningfully interact with my surrounding, I was interested in figuring out how things work. I started with taking apart my toys, and as I got older, I disassembled almost everything and uh, tried to learn how to work by putting it back together. This enthusiasm became an inseparable part of my personality and led me to become an inventor to an early age. I became a member of national team of robotics when I was 13. Then during to my high school years, I started to take up an interest in computing, which made me study computer science for my understanding journey. I did my master in artificial intelligence. Over this time, I met 15 different robots to help solve everyday people life, uh, of course, problems of the life, an industrial problem. Okay,
Yes.
let me get started with my education. I can remember when I know computer was about 18 years ago. I started computer when I was in high school. Then I did my diploma in computer science. Then I pursue my education in software, my bachelor. Uh, After that, I had a compulsory military service for 2 years in Iranian army. Unfortunately, after that, I got a scholarship from Eastern Mediterranean University, North Cyprus, for doing a master in artificial intelligence. After that, I started working as artificial intelligence expert. Then I accepted and I won CSCS scholarship for doing PhD in deep learning and machine vision at Fudan University.
Yes, that's really good. But can you tell us about what type of activities did you have, and what were you interested before you entered the university?
Yeah. Uh, when I was doing my basic education, I was always uh, curious about things, about how to change them, how to optimize the processes, how to make something new. Uh, my activity during my childhood and before the university was about playing. was about learning something new and just doing some fun with friends. At that time, I was so curious about robotics. So in high school, I started learning robotics. I made my first robot when I was in the second year of my high school.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yes. Yes, that's really good. Since you're a highly educated person, I want to ask, what was the environment of university like? Did it make you progress?
University. No, not at all. University just give you a clue to start your journey of research or journey of science. You know, uh, I believe that universities is just the beginning. It's not about graduating. It's not about making you a full. I mean, it's not about making you a omniscience or an expert. You just have to follow it. They just give you the clues, and you take the most relevant clues that you think it's your favorite.
Yeah, sounds good.
Um, and you can make your network in your university. You can find friends who will become
Yes.
maybe major persons in future. You make your network, you follow your dreams, and you have to work. No pain, no gain.
Yeah. So how is studying in Iran compared to other countries? What are the advantages and disadvantages?
I did my bachelor in Iran. So I studied at least 4 years as a student of the universities of Iran. Uh, Studying at Iranian university is something like wasting your time, you know, because the educational system is not designed for learning something new. You have to study very old syllabus, particularly for uh, very updated science like computer science or artificial intelligence. You have to do research and you have to learn the edge of the technology. But at Iranian University, when you uh, start to learn something at the class, when you look at the course syllabus, you see all the syllabus are for at least 10 years ago.
Hmm.
Moreover, uh, I during my 4 years education at the Iranian University, I never found a good professor. I don't know why. That's
Yeah.
Yes.
another problem that most of Iranian students encounter with it. The
Yes.
educational system uh, looking for mm, is not looking for great professor. They accept everybody who can teach. I think it's not a good idea.
Yes, exactly. Well, I like your opinion about university that it doesn't make people to progress. And I have the same opinion about the education, education system education in Iran, which is worse. But during college, how did you manage your professional work with college courses? Because college courses are theory based, and did you take the time to get good grades for technical theoretical courses, or did you focus more on your technical work?
You know, I wasn't the top student in the university always. You know why? Because I was always following my dreams. I
Hmm.
was always
Yeah.
uh, I was always involved with making robots. I was always involved with finding new chipsets, finding new processors, how to run them, how to code them. these are not such a things that university will teach you. You have to work it alone. If you are so lucky, you will find some people who are passionate in the same way that you are. But I wasn't so lucky. I was always working alone. And after a few years, I met my team, and it was a great part time of my educational life.
Yeah, that's good.
To sum up, this question, uh, I was maybe the normal student, not the top student. I'm still not, and I'm not believe in being the top student because the top students means you have to do what they have to do, and that's not something that researchers and scientists have to do. Scientists should follow their dreams and follow their objects. But university courses or being in the class and follow the rules make you so lazy. I believe that. It's my personal belief.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, my average score it was always about 15 out of 20. That's is a shame for some people, but it's not for me. I devoted myself and my time to finding something new and being top in the science, not in the university.
Yeah, actually, I also believe that, being a top, a student is not very good always, because you also have sometimes you have something to study on it, and you can't, have time on another studies. Okay, so would you tell us about your articles and the books you wrote and the inventions you had before getting the master's degree?
Before getting the master degree, it's the time that uh, I was studying in Iran.
Mm-hmm.
I started my very first book when in I was 17. I think I finished that. It was a 312 pages book about video editing and special effect. It was my interest in that time of life, but it never published because no uh, press or no publication accepted my book. They said you're just a child, you know nothing about this industry.
Mm-hmm.
If we invest on you, we will lose all of our money. So uh, I started to put this book away, and I started my great passion, which was robotic. I finished my first robotic book 2 years later when I was 19. I believe that it was a great book. It was my second experience, but it was one of my greatest books that after I think more than more than 14 years, still students are using that.
Wow,
I
yeah.
Yes.
I published 11 books about robotic and artificial intelligence, sensors, and some related subjects, and about 7 articles about deep learning and machine vision, and half of them are related. Are about half of them are when I was doing my in Iran. You know, in Iranian university, after the second semester, I never uh, go to class. I just devoted my time on my goals, my academic goals, not for taking the highest score in the university.
Yes. Well, it's so bad that they judge people by their ages. Just like you mentioned that they didn't allow you to publish your first book, just because you were too young at that time. And it's true, I agree with what you said about the academic courses. And it's not just about the grade. You have to follow your passions. You have to follow your dreams. And it doesn't matter if you don't get high grades, because grades have nothing to do with progress. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
but
You know,
while you're, yeah,
something bad is that when I was doing my interview for accepting as a PhD student, many university and many professors rejected me because of my uh, average score.
oh,
They never looked at my CV or my achievements. They're just looking at the average score, and I think that's a disaster for our academic people.
yes, exactly. That's a disaster. I'm so sorry for these people who think in a wrong way. Yeah, but why are you so interested in artificial intelligence and robotics?
You know, I'm so interested in this field because I think I can be a useful person in my life if I devote my time on robotic and AI. Robotic and AI are, somehow embedded because if you find something new in AI, or if you optimize an algorithm in AI, you can implement it in robots. That's the meaning of the research. I believe that you have to reveal your research results. You shouldn't keep them on the paper. It's not about publishing paper in the high impact factor journals. It's all about being useful. It's all about being somehow being a useful person for your society. So I think artificial intelligence and robotics give me this opportunity to uh, find something new and give a physical or give a practical result for people.
Yes, exactly. Please tell us about please tell us about national AI-based projects.
Um, um, Recently, I tried to make my invention uh, more practical. So I insert in transportation and traffic field. Uh, so I made a few a few devices which are patented in Iran for public parkings because in Iran you have a lot of problem in public parking management. So I did computer vision, deep learning, and IoT for making new devices for public parking management and traffic management, which are produced, and we installed them the in two greatest, biggest, and the most recent public parking in Mashhad city. And the president of Iran, Mr. Rouhani, just visit them twice, and now they are under operation, which it's I think great. We made artificial intelligence accessible for our people and citizens.
Yeah, sounds good. So how did you get the scholarship from a top university of China? Fudan University is ranked among the top 50 universities of the world. Am I right?
Yeah. Fudan is a great university. They are really some passionate people about science. I tried doing my PhD in different countries, but as I mentioned in the interview, I had many problems with some professors who just think about the average score. They just uh, the average score was uh, a major criteria for their decision. So when in the interview, when I feel that they just look in this way, I just rejected for being accepted in this university. When I was searching for great universities, particularly for great professors who are in the same field as I'm doing my research, I found Professor Tao Chen from Fundan University. He is a young and great person, so I felt that maybe he is one of my candidates to do my PhD under his supervision. I contacted him and we had a few interviews, and he asked me some technical and some theoretical questions regarding my resume. And I won CSC scholarship, and I started my PhD at Fudan University.
All right, so how is the studying at Fundan University now? Do you have an online class or in person?
Um, Regarding the recent pandemic, COVID-19, all the classes online, but we are keeping in touch every day with our professors and supervisor to doing some um, progress in our research. We are currently working on meta learning and self-supervised learning in deep learning field. And yeah, in our university classes are online.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. You also have a lot of teaching experiences. Did you do this as a main job or because you are interested?
Teaching, teaching, yeah, I had, but I'm not teaching anymore. You know, a period of time over 10 years, I believe that I have to transfer my knowledge, uh, my point of view to my students. So I started teaching uh, 10 years in different universities with different students. And I'm happy that many of my students found their ways and they are following their passion in their life. Uh, I did teaching not as my main job. It was a part-time job always for me. The income was a disaster from teaching, but something that made me strong to do that was seeing the happy faces of students who found their ways.
Yes, well, other than teaching and work experiences, you also manage to write books and articles. Can you tell us more about your books and journal articles?
Yeah, journal articles. I started writing with writing books, not with writing articles. When I was doing my bachelor, of course, before bachelor, yeah. Before
Yes,
bachelor,
yes.
before accepting as a student as a bachelor, I did my first book when I was 17. Oh my God, I never figured that. Uh, you know, writing book was I started writing book because I found no useful and practical reference in Iran for young students and young researchers who are going to start robotics. Uh, it was my problem, so I started to solve this problem for the other young researchers who are interested in making their own robots. So I devote my time for 2 years to publish my first book. I always include my experiences in making robots in my book. So this is the story of publishing my first book, and after that, I'm not very interested in publishing some articles because I believe that you have to do something practical. If 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 you can. apply your article in something tangible, uh, if you see that the future of your result will be tangible, okay, I believe that publishing papers are good. Because of that, I just devoted my time on writing books. I think books are more practical for everyone. Then I made my invention, and I devote my time on my patents, and some I'm making something new and solving some problems that people are struggling with. Then I devote my time on my academic journal papers or conferences.
Yeah, that's
That's
good.
all.
Yeah, so what challenge did you have while producing inventions?
Invention is all about challenges. The first challenge that you always encounter with is financial support. Another challenge would be finding some people to join to your group.
Mm-hmm.
Team working is really important for great achievement. So in Iran, you don't have financial support for your patents, for your idea, but in the other countries, not all the countries, but most of the countries all around the world, you can find funds and money and financial support for your patents or for your idea. Uh, there are always some major challenges. It's all about hope. You know, in some points, in some steps, are making your idea to a tangible device or a tangible idea for the other people. You have always challenges to implement it. The implementation is very important, and you are making something new, something that doesn't exist on the earth. So you have some challenges in implementation, and sometimes you see no ways, and that's the point. You have to be uh, hopeful that you will make it by finding or making your way. That's the key point of making invention into a tangible device or a tangible product. And it's all about challenges.
Yes, exactly. Well, since you work with many programming languages, which one do you think is more practical?
Programming languages. Oh my God. I can remember that the first programming language I started was Q Basic. No, it was Fortran. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Fortran. I have experiences with many different programming languages. Currently, I'm working with Python. Uh, Before that, I was working with C++, C Sharp, and C family programming languages. Uh, Before that, I used Delphi, MATLAB, QBasic, Fortran, FoxPro. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh, for a while, I think it's for more than 5 years, I'm doing Python. I think nowadays Python is the top edge of the programming languages. It's very practical, it's easy to debug, and it's easy to understand for almost everyone who are interested in programming languages. So I think now, in this year, in this month, Python is the best and the most practical languages programming language.
Yeah, I also really like Python, It's so
Oh,
practical, yeah. So what do you do
Another
now?
Pythonist.
Yeah, Python is really good actually.
Yeah.
And what do you do now, Mr. Mahdizadeh?
Pardon me.
What do you do now? Are you working on any special thing?
Yeah. Currently, I'm doing several uh, jobs. First of all, I'm still working on my PhD thesis, Fundan University. Then I'm working on my startup. It's a project about making a robot for uh, teaching uh, children all and they they teach my robots that I'm designing and I'm implementing right now. They teach students who are uh, categorized as normal students, or they are categorized as um, students who have mentality problems like autism. um, my robots teach them how to learn STEM, science, engineering, uh, technology, uh, and mathematics. They are interactive robots who have emotions, and they embodied as human robots. Another thing, another job that I'm involved with is editing articles at Cuban academic journals, and I'm also working for Mashhad municipality as a researcher in AI. Uh, I have also my students in AI, and I have my team that I'm accelerating them for their project.
Yes, well, military service is a part of every man's life in Iran these days. Because when you hit 18, you're conscripted to serve the military. So I wanted to ask you how you passed the military service in Iran.
Military service in Iran is a disaster. You
Yes,
know,
exactly.
I was a young engineer in computer science. I was a computer engineer, and I have, they blocked me. They that they banned me, and I couldn't exit the country. I couldn't leave the
Oh
country.
God.
So you have to go to the military service. Then they give you their passport. Then you can leave the country. You know, as as a Iranian, as a very fresh Iranian boy, I went to military service. You know what was I involved in military service? You know what I was responsible for it? Tea,
Oh no, what was?
making tea. It was my job in military service for
Oh
two
my
years.
God.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Yeah, you are such a
it's
good
a disaster.
intelligence.
I
Yeah,
think it doesn't need any more information about this military service and this area.
yeah. It's not very good. Yeah. So what do you suggest for young people who want to follow your path?
First of all, I'm not old.
Oh,
I'm not old, okay?
yeah.
Uh, uh, then I think people who are following their passion can reach their target. Just focus on their passion. Life is full of problems, particularly these days. The private life, your daily life, uh, particularly in Asia, in the Middle East, it's full of problems. So you should concentrate on your goals and be sure that you will be the man who you are passionate about. It's all about it.
Yes, exactly. Finally, if there's something we did not ask you and you think is useful, please tell our listeners.
First, I I'm gonna thank you again for this interview, and I just have another point to mention. You know, life is short. I'm now 33, and I don't know how are I'm standing at this age. It was very fast, and it will be fast again. So try to be useful for not only for your society, but also for all the people all around the world. I believe that the world is borderless. So think big and passion without limitation. You have to be hopeful, you have to be strong, and you have to see your future from now. I'm talking directly to all the junior students who are going to start their academic journey. Just be hopeful, be strong, and go on. Everything will be okay. I promise.
Yeah, thank you for your time, Mr. Mahdizadeh. Thank you for joining us today. We will leave Professor Mahdizadeh's resume in the description below the video, so you can communicate with him and ask him your questions.
Everyone, please subscribe us and follow us on Podbean. We also have a Discord server by this name. Remember, freedom of expression is the foundation of human rights, the source of humanity, and the mother of truth.
Thank you for listening with us. Thank you for everything, and good luck. Goodbye.
Bye bye.